If you're driving around LA, most of the time you're not going to see the green sections. You're going to experience these concrete blocks with maybe a narrow channel floating through the bottom. The two sections where LA River Expeditions does its tours, the Sepulveda Basin and the Glendale Narrows, are wonderful sections, fairly natural. And the Glendale Narrows is a beautiful, about 6 mile stretch of rapids. I love that kind of overgrown look where you can't see the concrete on the sides and you're just kind of in this kayak with your group going down the center of the river, meandering through rapids and kind of going with the flow. This stretch is a little bit of light rapids. We'll go around that kind of rock at the end. The water itself is actually pretty good. It's coming out of water treatment plants. It's mixed in with runoff from streets and things like that. It's actually a lot better than most people would imagine. It's not like a toxic mess that's gonna melt your flesh away. Yeah, there's some trash that's an eyesore, but that's entirely fixable. For at least 3 miles or so. It looks like a lot of other rivers in the world.
You see, we're going to designate the entire LA River, not a piece of it, the entire LA River as traditional navigable water.
Within a few years of your float, the air was electric with proposals, large and small, historic in many cases, for improvements to turn this river into a source of pride instead of a channel to run sewer water to the ocean as quickly as possible.
At the beginning, we didn't care how it looked. We just were about public access and making sure it was a protected river. Later on, we got exposed to all these so-called master plans that were done by different organizations in town. And it all looks so beautiful because you can see how the river could be treated like a Central Park in New York City. We're so park starved in Los Angeles. We were like so hungry for it. We're like, yes, give us that. There was supposedly federal funds, 1.2 to 1.6 billion, supposedly allocated to the revitalization effort and making real these grand plans, master plans to beautify the river. Garcetti was very pro-river, and he really started off his tenure on a high note of expectations. And he's kind of come and gone, and we still don't know really what happened, and it feels like everything sputtered to a halt. And that's where we are now. 2023, we've sort of given up on the notion that we have it in us to, if we had better designs, like with the river revitalization, to do things in a much smarter way, preserve, a huge percentage of the volume of water that we do get each year. Now we have a new administration, and we're hopeful, maybe naive, that some big changes can happen. I would love these grand plans to be realized. I want those big parks. They're fantastic. I'd love to see another 3 or 4 miles opened up above where we currently have a recreation zone, extended up to Griffith Park. Even without these huge projects going forward, we could totally clean it up and get it much more presentable. People will make exceptions for some of the condition of the river, but what really captures them and what excites us about bringing people is that they want to get swept up in the potential of the river and the wildness of the river and the nature in Los Angeles that's already there.